Undisclosed ads are a cancer that continues to spread throughout the internet with each passing day. If you yourself are someone who uses almost any social media site nowadays with some level of frequency, you are more than likely exposed to undisclosed ads constantly, maybe without even realizing it. The sad truth is these ads are almost normalized in a sense, and especially when you're in that flow state of pure brain rot while scrolling through TikTok, it might be a little hard to differentiate what might be a real and genuine comment or video from an undisclosed ad made by a greedy creator who doesn't really care about how they portray themselves. In case you somehow do not know what an undisclosed ad, it's pretty simple. It is simply an endorsement or promotion of a product or service without explicitly mentioning the fact that it's paid for. A simple example of this is the Money Pilot scam. I actually briefly covered this in one of my previous videos talking about the hate campaign on Haskell and how it was quite literally just paid for by this shady ass company with the hopes that these videos would go viral and impressionable people would be like, yeah, that Haskell guy is pretty dumb. I should really listen to the smart person and get Money Pilot.
If that was the case, you could have hopped on Money Pilot, make money off a class action lawsuit. Time would really be better spent going to moneypilot.com and getting money through class action lawsuits. This thing could be worried about his pockets going on moneypilot.com and getting money through class action lawsuits.
Maybe instead of doing that shit, your ass could hop on Money Pilot and get money off of class action lawsuits. Instead of being a coon, hop on Money Pilot and get some money off of class action.
However, I really want to take the time to point out that this is absolutely nothing new. Undisclosed ads have existed for probably decades. While you could argue that might be due to how simple of a thing it is to do, I would say it extends a little further than that. The reason undisclosed ads are so widespread nowadays, in my opinion, is thanks in part to the rise of short-form content. Because it is so easy to pump out hundreds of videos with little effort, it is also easier to sneak in these promotions without the need to disclose them, because most people just won't pay attention. Furthermore, with how integrated comments are to the loop of short-form content, it makes it extremely easy to just command a couple thousand bots to promote your shitty brand or website under the comments of other people who genuinely seek actual advice. You can see this type of thing a lot in areas like trading, specifically on TikTok, where you will get the usual video flexing supposed earnings from just 1 week of day trading, or how they retired their family with just 3 smart trades. Naturally, under these videos, you will find tons of people asking for tutorials or at least some tips on how to achieve this, and that's when they unload the dog shit. If you try to see the replies under most of these comments, you will find dozens of comments like try out Kalshi or try out Polymarket, and these will be random ass unmarked accounts who are very clearly just bots spearheaded by these corrupt ass companies with the hopes of sinking their teeth into whatever unsuspecting schmuck decides to give their services a try. I think one of the worst aspects of undisclosed ads by far are just how tempting they seem to be to so many creators nowadays. Now, in the example I showed before with Money Pilot, it was kind of understandable because all of those creators I showed were pretty small, and that check was probably the first type of monetization they've seen for social media, and honestly, who wouldn't jump at that? It's one of the reasons why I did not go as hard on them, and while they were still wrong and in my opinion hella immoral, I didn't condemn them fully. But when it comes to other creators like, for example, Chase, who is definitely known in the space and is no slouch when it comes to having his own community, it just makes it even more disappointing to see him falling into this type of stuff.
When I made that video, I thought I was 100% right. But as soon as I saw his VVet notebook, my entire argument crumbled. In my defense, that same day, I saw I Show Speed on Kalshi, and people were betting on how many followers he's gonna have by the end of 2027. So I thought y'all would be a parasocial, but no, I was just wrong.
The part that gets me the most about all this is the fact that he is blatantly promoting Kalshi, which is not only an extremely predatory gambling website, it is also one of the most pro-AI slop companies ever. And in case you don't know, Chase has made various statements in the past stating that he is against AI. Almost fully. So why the hell would he be promoting something like this? It's just so disingenuous in my opinion, and it makes me really sad to see. Because listen, I am all for getting that bag, and I really want to emphasize the position he is in is not something like most streamers nowadays who can just cough and make $500,000. But there is still something to be said about what you choose to spread to your audience, and I want to make it clear, I like Chase. For as little as I know about him, he seems like a cool dude, but we could be doing so much better, man. Again, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm the only person that's like this, but I just do not see how people are so easily persuaded by money into betraying their audience or into knowingly promoting something they know would do harm to their audience and their audience would not find good. And if you think something like Kalshi is not bad, you are either a bald-faced liar or you're just not that educated, because this is bad. And If you wouldn't promote it to your family, why the hell are you promoting it to the people who made you? Since I already mentioned them, I guess the best thing to do would just be to dive a little bit deeper into them and talk about what I think is the worst aspect of undisclosed ads as a whole. And that is the before mentioned gambling aspect of it. Unfortunately, I feel like this is what undisclosed ads are used for the most. I mean, if you go on any social media nowadays, some of the names you will see the most often when it comes to undisclosed ads are Kalshi, Polymarket, and maybe even Stake, though I hear that one has fallen off a bit, and I want you to really question why these brands are some of the most widespread and used today. Why do you think so many people buy into this kind of stuff, and why are so many controlled by prediction markets and sports betting? It's actually quite simple, because almost all of the biggest figures you see nowadays promoted to hell and back. Just think of it. All the biggest streamers you see in clips constantly. Aiden Ross, XQC, Trainwrecks. Even though I think Trainwrecks fell off a bit, he was still a huge gambler. Or, you know, someone who's really a hot topic nowadays, Los Pollos TV, who is, in my opinion, one of the worst offenders when it comes to undisclosed ads. Now, I want to make it clear, like with many other topics, whenever I talk about big streamers or big YouTubers on my channel, I do not know these people. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, I'm mainly just speculating. But I'm going off of the information I can see on the internet and what I look for. And to be honest, Los just does not seem like a very trustworthy person. Now, he has not really hidden his love for gambling. As far as I know, he has been mainly streaming gambling for many years. I think he actually started as a 2K streamer, so he was mainly gaming. But even then, I'm pretty sure he was still gambling on stream, and even to this day, I think he's still gambling. He has gone on record on interviews to say he's lost over $1 million gambling. And to his credit, okay, I want to say this up front. He has stated, yo, don't gamble. So at least he does know in a sense that it is wrong, but that has not stopped him from making multiple gambling sponsored streams, by the way, constantly promoting these websites on many of his streams, which, by the way, let's be honest, Los Pollos TV is not exactly the highest brow when it comes to the level of IQ or level of, I guess, complexity in content creation, and many of the people who watch Los Pollos TV have an overlap with Kai Cenat, with iShowSpeed, and you know what those are? Fucking children. And if they are not children, they are teenagers or 19-year-olds who, hey, legally they might be allowed to gamble, but these are still kids. Especially in this day and age when TikTok and YouTube are taking over everything and everybody just becomes dumber, none of these kids should be getting shown all of this. And dude, the amount of people I've seen who are barely even 18, and you know what the sad part is? People who are being introduced to gambling this early on, and even if they legally cannot do so, they will look for ways to gamble. So what I hate sometimes whenever I see a clip of Los and there will be somebody who rightfully criticizes him for promoting these kinds of things and also doing undisclosed ads of the same nature and possibly getting paid more, they will be criticizing him for this, and there will be a dick writer instantly in the comments saying things like, oh, well, he's not promoting it to children because children can't gamble, which, hey, might be true, but you think that shit doesn't stick with you? You think these kids are not being influenced in the future to just throw their money away? It does not matter if you, in a offhanded interview one time say don't gamble, if you have 50 sponsored streams and one of your biggest clips and biggest news coverage of all time is the fact that you earned $9 million through a probably undisclosed ad with Stake. You think this doesn't influence kids? You think this doesn't make people want to spend money trying to chase that bag? And the thing that hits me the most with this is the fact that Los Pollos is big. He has been big for a while. He has been streaming for over 10 years now. He is 100% a millionaire. Now, obviously, I am not fully aware of his figures or how he made his money. As far as I know, he could have made his big break with one of these deals. But the fact of the matter is, after you did it once, bro, you got your money. Do you really need all those millions? I think that is the biggest question I think I ask myself when it comes to this thing and why so many streamers fall for it. These people have their life set. Like, they don't gotta work a day in their life. Realistically, they could just retire at any point and live their life happily. So what is the need to scam your audience? What is the need to shove these things in their face when you probably would not tell your dad to do this? Again, it's the same thing. Do these people just not care about their audience? Like, let me break it to you. These are real people. The people who watch you, all these numbers on stream, assuming your numbers are not view botted, that's a whole ass person with a whole ass life, with family, who devotes hours and hours of their existence on this miserable ass rock to you. And while I do not subscribe to the idea that, YouTubers owe their fans everything, because I don't think it's that simple. I think content creation is a two-way street. Fans are there and they do support the creator, but the creator makes the content and the fans enjoy it. I do think there still should be this idea of basic decency of, hey, the same way fans should not be parasocial assholes and control a streamer's life and influence it, streamers should not be greedy motherfuckers shoving shit they know is a scam in their face, actively trying to impression their fan base when they know there's a lot of young people involved. Maybe it's just me, but this is just so wrong. I don't want to keep talking about this because it honestly is, it just makes me really mad. And the fact that it's so widespread and you can just see it everywhere just makes me so damn sad. So yeah, if you took the time to watch this video, I appreciate it. Again, I love every single one of you. If this is your first time watching a video of mine, thank you for taking the time to watch it. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you didn't, then hey, tell me what I did wrong, any advice, and just say anything in the comments. I always respond. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I love you all. Have a good day, night, afternoon, whatever it is. And yeah, bye.